Thank you for joining me. Today is my 200th episode hosting the show in the studio. It's a sports and comedy and gambling show, and I am really sorry. I'm embarrassed by my actions yesterday on the show when I didn't know what team Stephon Diggs played for. I mean, I said Minnesota. I knew it wasn't Minnesota. And then I said every other team, and I don't think I said Seattle, so at least give me that credit. But I feel like I have to step down from punchlines from hosting the show.
Come on, Frank. No.
All right, listen, I'll stay, but no teasing for the rest of time about me not knowing where Stephon Diggs played. He plays starting wide receiver for the Houston Oilers.
It's the Texans.
Texans, damn it. And roll the open.
It's not Ann. It's Sean.
God. Ladies and gentlemen, it was a bit. Like, I knew where Stephon, I knew he was a Texan. I knew.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like, I was just like, oh, this will be a good bit for the show.
It was a great bit.
It was a great bit. Yeah. No, I didn't know where he was. Anyway, welcome to the show. Behind me is the South Point Casino Sportsbook. Looks like they're watching some Olympic coverage out there. Oh, that's behind me. That might be dangerous. Anyway, thanks for watching, you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing and watching on the Punchlines FN page. I'm Frank Nicotero, longtime comedian, lifelong sports fan, and we do have Olympic fever, and there's nothing cooler than what this girl did underwater. Roll this clip. Gotta love this. Ryan found this. She's blowing the Olympic rings. Phrasing? Okay, there. Okay. She didn't really do that, did she? That is cool. There you go. It's Olympic fever, ladies and gentlemen. Have you been watching any? I know you're getting the show ready and everything. Have you been able to see any of the countries coming down the water?
No, but Peyton Manning is on the desk. That's kind of...
Peyton Manning with Kelly Clarkson.
Okay.
So if you had those two on your bingo card 10 years ago and said, I feel like the Olympic hosts will be Peyton Manning and Kelly Clarkson, you're a winner.
Yeah.
Apparently, Lady Gaga has already performed, and it wasn't great. And it was so awkward at one point, Kelly Clarkson apparently said, she did this with no rehearsal. So that's how they covered it, according to what Courtney told me. Yes. All right, behind the glass, the gentleman I'm speaking to, he's like a great leadoff hitter in baseball. He sets the table and is usually one of the best guys on the team. The man who always gets on base with his stats and picks, Ryan Ricky Henderson McCormick. Yay. Ryan, what is your approach for today's show? What do you got?
Well, we do have a very funny guest for today's show.
We do. We're very excited. Just said hi to him.
I won't spoil it, but
okay.
We do have a very good guest.
We showed a clip of him yesterday, so hopefully
we will be talking about the history that happened yesterday in Major League Baseball, looking at some things for the WNBA, things in the NFL, some controversy that may come for the local football team, but we'll see how it goes.
Uh-oh. I don't know about that. All right, we got to check that out. Later on the show, we have two guests today because it's a Friday. Very funny comedian who hails from Chicago, now lives here in Vegas. He grew up sunflower seed spitting distance from Old Comiskey Park in Chicago, where he started stand-up. I'd give you his resume, but it's only an hour show. So his Dry Bar special, Little Victories, just came out on the Dry Bar Network. John Caponera will be here. Very excited. We met in Pittsburgh years ago when I was a kid. We were just talking very quickly, and a lot of the same friends, and, he's unbelievable. This is going to be great. And then also dropping by, we haven't seen him in a while, the director of the sports book here, also a big fan of John's, is the reason he's stopping by, actually. Chris Andrews will be here. We can ask him about a lot of lines are up now. We actually have some Olympic basketball lines.
Yeah, Olympic basketball.
Right?
Olympic
is the first USA game up yet? Against Serbia. Ooh, this was not, it's -13. I don't know. Might want the points on that. Or, were the U.S. coasting on purpose? I
don't know.
Sudan almost beat them.
Yeah.
Sudan had them beat, actually. So we got Olympic, we got a bunch of regular season win totals in the NFL. We have conferences. There's always still baseball. What are the Pirates right now? 100-1 to win the World Series. What's the NL pennant for the Pirates? 40-1. I do have a Pirates future to win their division, I think. I can't remember what it is, but my Paul Skeens one is looking pretty good. So there you go. Big show, guys. It's time for roll call. Let's see who is watching the show today. Who is in the chat? Let's see. Oh, look, Keith Lyle is here, ladies and gentlemen. He is in the chat, and he's only 10 feet away from me. Tommy Green already saying breakdancing fiasco. It's going to be awesome. Breaking's going to be awesome. I have a feeling it'll be the highest viewed spectator sport.
I don't know about that.
It's going to be high. Higher than swimming and basketball combined. No, a lot of people are going to tune in to want to see that. Come on. Breaking?
Sure.
I don't think
we
it's till
hadn't-
August.
We didn't get enough coverage knowing that the Olympics were coming up. You think
True.
they're gonna
Good point.
broadcast
We didn't know the
breaking?
Olympics were starting till yesterday.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yep. Oh, Keith did the Miami joke. Aaron O'Connor, already a great show. Thank you, Aaron O'Connor. Oh, okay. Now here's my mom. Lady Gaga was fantastic. Kelly said that because it was so amazing. They didn't have time to practice, but it came off so wonderful. So I haven't seen it yet. We'll have to check it out. She sang in French, I believe, which is apropos. Look at that. I used a French word.
And we also have Minidar in the chat.
Yeah, what's Minidar saying?
Also kind of thinking that yesterday could have been an act.
Could have been a what?
An act.
No, no. Now, I'm going to say something honestly. Ryan said, he goes, I watched that clip yesterday about 6 times. He goes, if Frank was acting, he did a really good job. No, I did not know where Stephon Diggs was playing. I also thought he spelled his name with a PH, but I'd forgot it's actually an F. I'm not in football season mode. I'm still in baseball season mode, right? There's a lot of free agents that have gone to different teams.
Yeah.
Like, where's Patrick Queen?
In Pittsburgh.
It's on the Steelers. It's the only free agent I could think of, but yeah. Give me another free agent.
I really want him.
Big free agent signing.
You're tapping the mic.
Yeah. Oh, no, I know I was. You hate that, don't you?
Tyler Boyd.
Oh, Tyler Boyd is Cincinnati Bengal, and he left.
Yeah.
He went to the University of Pittsburgh, tell you that, and now he's over in Tennessee. Is he? Is he really?
I believe so.
Hey, Siri, where's Tyler Boyd? I don't know. I thought he was going to be a Steeler. The Steelers wanted him to come home back to Pittsburgh because he played at Pitt. He played on Heinz Field or Acrisure Stadium, whatever you want to call it.
He is a Tennessee Titan.
He is a Tennessee Titan? Now everyone's like, he really was snowing us yesterday. No, I did not remember that Stephon Diggs was now a Texan. I almost said Oilers. Anyway, stop tapping the desk. Jerry, Jesus. All right. Oh, Jerry's here. There's no way Frank heard that. What? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, roll call.
I did say Houston yesterday. When you said Minnesota and then Detroit, and I said it's Houston.
Oh, I didn't even hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, no, I didn't hear you. No, I didn't hear that. I was too busy in my head going through divisions. And of course I always go first to the AFC Central, which is now the AFC North. So that shows my age. Don't worry. We'll talk about that with John and Chris. Okay, roll call. Before I do this, I just wanted to let them know if they want to take a guess at the coolest clip of the day. We usually do a comedy clip or a cool clip. All right, Punchy's in the chat room. Here's your question. There's a guy who is this guy again? Before we show the clip, who is he? He's a shooting coach?
Yes, he is an NBA shooting coach. I forget his name.
Okay, so he's hundreds of feet up in the air, eye level with a windmill. We don't know where this is, but he tries to shoot a basketball. Go ahead. You know something about him?
Just give me 1 second.
Okay, so anyway, he takes 5 shots. 5 shots at trying to time the windmill and shoot a basketball. It's got to be at least 50 feet away. How many out of 5 do you think he will make? That's what. So what did you find out about him?
Chris Matthews is his name, NBA shooting coach. And this video takes place in Kenya.
Oh, it's in Kenya. Okay, so this is like, it's got to be 200-300 feet up in the air. I hope he's tethered in.
Yeah.
And he's shooting a basketball trying to time it with a windmill.
Yep.
He takes 5 shots.
Yes.
Oh, Keith, where did Saquon Barkley sign? Well, because of Hard Knocks, I know that he's a Philadelphia Eagle. It's the only reason I know that is because I've been watching that. You didn't have to put it twice. You did. Jerry, I'm not tapping the desk. All right, so this is our coolest clip of the day, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. See if you can predict how many out of 5 after you hear his thought process. Turn this up if you could, please. There we go.
Kenya right now.
0 for 1.
He's in Kenya.
Basketball history.
All right, so he's going whoosh. Okay, first shot. Nope. Right off the side.
0 for 2. 1 for 3.
1 for 3. He'll never do it again. Holy crap.
2 for 4.
2 in a row.
I understand it now. This for all of my followers. Thank you.
Thank you. If he hits this, he's a legend. And times it. Bam.
3 for 5.
Come on, guys.
That's unbelievable. Right? Even Jerry gave us a wow.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Wow. Pretty cool. That's why it was the coolest clip of the day. All right, let's move on to lines of the night. Ryan, do you want to lead off line of the night?
Did you like my title on that one?
Oh, can you go back to it?
It was Gone with the Wind.
Gone with the Wind. Okay, very good. I'll give you $100 if you tell me what year Gone with the Wind came out.
That one I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
Chris? 39. Very good. Same year as Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, I would have said 40.
Directed by the same guy or produced by the same guy? It's a really weird trivia question. 1939 for that movie. All right, I've never seen Gone with the Wind, by the way, whole thing. I didn't think so. It's like 3.5 hours. All right, it was on 2 VHS when we went to our video store. Okay, line of the night. What are you going with? We watched history happen on Punchlines yesterday.
Live yesterday during
Live
the show,
on the show, we saw Dylan Cease throws no hitter. Go for it.
So my line of the night is going to go to it.
Cease's Nats
so
bats.
it's going to be a three-parter. This first one is the video of him getting that final out.
Okay, let's see it.
So a little fly ball to right field. And pretty easy. The Padres posted cease, desist, and no hits. But I went with Cease's Nats bats. So this funny thing about it, we'll go to 6. Yeah.
By the way, I didn't realize he was 1 out away from a no-hitter before.
Yeah, so that's what we're going to look at here. So
yeah.
In 2022, September 3rd, Luis Arias, or Dylan Cease had gone through 8 2/3 innings, needing one more out.
Sorry,
and Luis Arias hit a blooper single to right.
Yeah. Here. Oh, you have it. Nice. Okay.
So breaks up the no bid.
And look at him just go down, hands on knees, like, son, I should have thrown it down lower.
And yesterday, Luis Arias gave Cease the final out ball.
How about that?
Because they are now teammates.
They're teammates now because the Marlins traded him away. Something about that San Diego team. This is the kind of stuff that happens in a year when a team goes on a long run. They get a miracle no-hitter like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. But if we want to...
David Caruso's in the studio, ladies and gentlemen, because the CSI just started in here.
But if we want to look at stats from that game or for Dylan Cease.
Go for it.
So a complete list of every pitcher in Major League Baseball history to have a 3-start run with 25-plus strikeouts and only 2 hits allowed. Dylan Cease is the only person on the list, and he has 30 strikeouts.
That's
in those 3
it.
games.
That's the list. That's the first time we've posted a first time in Major League history that hasn't been Paul Skeens in quite some time.
And then in his 6 outings this year of 6+ innings, he has 6 outings this season of 6+ innings and 0 or 1 hit allowed in that outing.
He's been on fire.
That's 2 more than anyone else in a season since 1901.
Yeah, that's right.
And he's allowed 1 hit in each of his first 5, except for.
And who was that guy in 1901? Chris, anyone? No. Mordecai Three Finger Brown. I have no idea who it is. Also, Pete, you can bet on no hitters.
Yes. Yeah.
There's some people that threw $5, won like $2.80 on them.
Yeah. Well, won 14. I think it was 14.05.
14.05. Yeah. You can actually bet on no hitters sometimes, and someone had it.
Yeah.
Bet it that he'd have a no hitter. Which, if they had, Paul Skeens, I would go ahead and do it. He's going to throw one eventually. Maybe not this year. Maybe they'll pull him. But anyway, my line of the night. Why don't we talk about? I don't know. If we had a word cloud for this show, who's the most oft-mentioned name?
Superwoman.
Besides Paul Skeens.
Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark. Without a doubt, Caitlin Clark. We love Caitlin Clark on this show. Caitlin Clark is on pace to be the youngest player in WNBA history to lead the league in assists. In fact, this is what's, Chris, listen to this. In fact, the only person in NBA history to do so at a younger age was the Big O, Oscar Robertson, in 1961. So a rarefied air there for Caitlin Clark, who's taken the league by storm. I saw somewhere someone was saying Angel Reese should be the rookie of the year in the league.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
They're just going to, by the way, miss triple-double, very nice. They're going to pit these two against each other.
Yeah.
Like Bird and Magic, which took the NBA to the next level. That's what these two are doing. So I love it. I think it's great.
Yeah.
But Caitlin Clark.
I don't think there's a real argument for Angel Reese.
It's Caitlin Clark.
It's Caitlin Clark.
Again, if you're going to fly commercial. How is she not on the Olympics? It's all jealousy, John. We're going to bring John in here in about 2 seconds because we're going to go to today is July 26, 2024. It's National Dog Photography Day. Do we have? No, we don't have any pictures of dogs. You guys know what our dogs look like. We've done it enough. It is also, oh God, what's the other days? Here it is. National Coffee Milkshake Day, National Aunt and Uncle Day. Give your favorites a call. And it's happy 81st to Mick Jagger. So what we do here, a lot of radio shows, TV shows maybe mention the national days. We take them all, put them into AI, combine them with a celebrity, and we get this AI magic. Here we go. Let's take a look. There we go. All right, there's Mick Jagger in a bath of National Coffee Milkshakes right there, Kate. Nice work.
Yeah.
And he's 81, by the way. 81 years old. They put a pedometer on him for his Rolling Stone shows. He does about 7-8 miles at 81, dancing, singing, looking good. It's crazy.
Wow.
What else? Ash, I guess that's him and his aunt right there, who has the best hair I've ever seen. And then there he is taking a picture of his dog.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
That's what you get for it.
Yeah.
He's 81. Milkshake bath. He's probably taking a milkshake bath. Why do I think that? All right. So we're going to bring our guest in after we show 100 shows ago. You guys know what we do. 100 shows ago, Major League Baseball. He's on MLB Network. Xavier Scruggs, friend of our lovely Alex White's. And he was on the show, and he talked about going to high school with a very famous band. So here we go, 100 shows ago. Again, Xavier Scruggs, we got to get him on the show. Thank you again, Alex, for getting him. But he went to high school with Blink 182.
And Xavier, last thing for you before we let you take off. Nothing to do whatsoever with baseball. You graduated from Poway High School in San Diego, the same high school as Mark and Tom from Blink 182, one of my top 2 or 3 favorite bands. They're a little bit older than you. Did you know them, / what was the history like at Poway High School knowing that Blink 182 was there?
Yeah, no, it was obviously cool, man. And especially when I was going to school there, they were like at the getting towards the peak of kind of what they were doing. But no, I didn't know them personally. But it's always cool to be able to say, like, you know, Blink 182. That's always going to be one of those bands that people will never forget kind of where they were at hearing their music, right? So I just know that was kind of a staple of my time in high school and even going into college, man. Blink 182. That's some good stuff. You looked that up.
Xavier Scruggs, thank you for being on the show. Hopefully we'll get him back very soon. But here now, ladies and gentlemen, courtesy of our friend Keith Lyle, got him on the program. John Caponera is here, ladies and gentlemen. Chicago legend, comedy guy. I met him years ago when I was a budding comedian at the Funny Bone, and we were talking about the Schneider brothers and then Jimmy Miller, Ed Driscoll, all these old names that we share in common. And I love that you're still like a Chicago guy. I feel like I'm still a Pittsburgh guy. And you come in wearing a cap. And of course I said, wow, what a great Bears hat. So, John, what's happening?
Oh, man, life's good.
Yeah?
I'm enjoying living in Las Vegas.
Now, I'm new. I'm 8 months here now. So
this 2.5 years for me. So I've really adapted. I play some local clubs. And I don't want to travel anymore, doing the road for 44 years. I got burnt out. I didn't want to go to the airport anymore. I was working shifts, getting sick of my stomach. Wait, the night before, like this overwhelming flow would go over me of depression.
Oh, geez.
And I realized this isn't healthy for me anymore. I can't do the shifts. So
all right.
I moved here, and
that's fun.
I figured my kids, they're in L.A., 4.5 hours. They want to come see me, I'm here.
There you go. They know.
I got a house. They all have their own room. Do they come and see me? No.
No, damn. So now you're here in Vegas, but you're still a Chicago sports guy, right?
You know what? I was 30 years before I moved to L.A., 30 years old. So, yeah, I'm a true blue. I'm a big Blackhawks fan, Bears. Not so much Bulls anymore. But
what about baseball? Who are your teams?
I grew up 6 blocks from Comiskey. Okay. So, but you know what? I don't hold a grudge to the Cubs like my buddies back home.
Right.
They knew I said I like the Cubs. They would disown me, because we're from the South Side. But, I've been gone so long. I would watch WGN just to keep in touch with Chicago, and ended up liking the Cubs just from watching WGN.
Well, Ryan, our producer, he's born and raised in Vegas, but his parents.
My dad was raised a Sox fan, but because he got to watch the Cubs on WGN more, he just became a Cubs fan and raised me as a Cubs fan. So
yeah, I mean, I know the Sox are out of it, so I started cheering for the Cubs. Now I think they're going to be sellers too. But
my hatred for teams when I was a kid has lessened as I've gotten older and a little. Like I hated the Phillies. I'm a Pirates fan. I'm from Pittsburgh, right? But the Phillies, who were in the National League East, I was supposed to hate them. I did hate them, and there were so many fights. Burt Blyleven, Greg Luzin, there'd be tons of fights, right? But now, like, when the Pirates aren't in the playoffs and the Phillies are, I'm like, well, it's Keystone State, close enough. I like them. I'll never root for the Cleveland Browns. That is, I can't do that. But I don't mind some teams that I grew up hating.
Well, you're not going to like the Flyers. Don't tell me.
No, okay, that's okay. That's a good one. That's on the list of teams you can never like.
No, I knew that.
You can never root for the Flyers. So obviously Chicago sports, it's a little rough here. Ryan is always giving us reports and shaking his head about the Cubbies. And as you said, the White Sox are definitely going to be. Is there odds on the, hold on, I have a baseball sheet here. Odds to win the AL pennant, Chicago White Sox are 100 to 1. That's it.
The same as the Pirates?
You mean they're not eliminated yet?
No, they're not. Oh, wait. Oh, that was the opening odds. They're 500 to 1. I apologize. 500 to 1. That was the opening odds. They're 500 to 1, but don't make a donation.
They'd have to go 30, just to get the 500.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, there's no possible way for them to have over 90 wins in this season.
Yeah, so there you go.
Yeah. So
so anyway, listen, we showed a clip yesterday of you at the Laugh Factory in LA, which was I actually, maybe that's where I saw you last. Maybe we did a set there because I was always there too. And I mean, of course, Harry Carey is something that you're known for. You've been doing Harry Carey for years. Harry Carey, people who watch our show remember Harry because that's what I grew up on too. That was the WGN games. I could watch Pirate games. I could watch Atlanta Brave games because you had Skip Carey, but then you had WGN, and he liked to have a few beers during the game. And I forgot until Keith reminded me he was a White Sox guy before. He did White Sox games.
Oh, that's how I became a fan of his. Because he was, in fact, he was more popular than the team.
Right. Oh, yeah.
When he was with the White Sox. Yeah. You know, him and Jimmy Pearsall used to do the games together.
Jimmy Pearsall, if I'm not mistaken, hit his 100th home run and ran backwards.
Yeah.
Ran backwards around the bases and was he called out? I can't remember. They changed the rule. Yeah, he was just a wackadoodle. I want to say they did a movie about his life story. Wasn't it Anthony Perkins who played Psycho? Yeah, it was Norman Bates. But again, one of those guys who didn't know how to play baseball.
I know. Yeah. And they would ask him about it. He goes, did you see that sissy trying to swing? Did you see that little sissy trying to throw? That wasn't me.
Now all the stuff that Bill Veeck, the owner of the White Sox, did, like you could get a haircut out in the stadium. Right?
He did everything he could to get fans there, except into the team.
Good players, right?
You know, he had midget wrestling night. He had, what did he have?
Disco demolition night.
Demolition. He had Mexican hat dance night. No, I'm not kidding. He had all these gimmicks. Just, at one time he had a midget,
Eddie Goodell. We talked about him on the show
in a real game because he wanted to walk,
and it was a wiffle ball bat, if I remember correctly. It was like 1/8 or 1/9. I had a baseball book when I was a kid. I brought this up many times, and there are stories and images that I'll never forget. And it's him at the bat like this with the wiffle ball bat. And they had to change the rule because of that. The silliest thing the White Sox ever did was wear shorts. They wore shorts like in the late 70s.
It even looked like a bad softball uniform.
It was terrible.
You wouldn't even wear that as a softball uniform.
And I even think Chet Lemon's card might have had him in shorts. I remember I loved the name Chet Lemon. He was a center fielder. Yeah. And they had polyester shorts, and they had to slide in these damn things. What the hell was he thinking?
I think they have the record for the most suits.
Oh, yeah, did they?
Yeah, uniforms.
Well, they had the button
over the years.
They had a collar. They had one uniform with like a collar like mine.
Well, that was part of the
shorts. Yeah, that's right.
I like the red pinstripe one they had when Dick Allen was on the team.
Yeah,
72 was it? I love those uniforms. Yeah.
So anyway, Harry Carey used. I remember also there was a picture. I remember him being shirtless for games.
Yeah, out in center field.
Well, out in center field.
They had a shower.
Yeah, the shower. You could pull the shower.
And so he would go into the shower with no t-shirt on. He's got his man boobs flopping around. Hey, let's take a shower. What do you say? They're bringing in a relief pitcher. I got some time. He was crazy,
I'm telling you right now, I know Chris Sanders came in to hear the Harry Carey. There's the picture on the screen. Thank you, man. I knew you were doing it. There's the uniform. That might be Chet Lemon, or no, that's too big. Ralph Garr, I think, won a batting title with the Braves before or something.
You know who else was on that team? I think Carlos May. He played left field, and he had blown his thumb off in a 4th of July accident. But he was still able to bat and play.
Right.
So we'd sit out in left field in the little, what was that section called in left field? You sit underneath the picnic area.
The picnic area, okay.
Yeah. And it was level with the field, when they just had a screen there.
Oh, I know exactly what that is.
They had a ball. He had a great arms, but they had a ball out to left, and he gets it, and he throws a frozen rope to third base to nail this guy. We're all going, thumbs up, Carlos! Thumbs up, Carlos! Anytime he did something good, we go, thumbs up, Carlos! And he turned around and give us a look.
Yeah. I remember you could see those picnic tables through like a screen.
Yeah.
And the vision I have is there was a guy, I think his name was Joe Crowley, was a pitcher. He threw a no-hitter but lost. He lost the Yankees 2-1. He won? 8-3. Yeah, it was like a no-hitter or something.
They had some characters. You remember?
And there was a ball.
No Neck Williams? No Neck Williams? The
What is he like this?
Yeah.
The White Sox. Now, Keith has told us about how some of your clips of doing Harry Carey have gone huge for you, right? And you got a dry bar special out right now too, right?
Yeah, it's funny. I shot it 2.5 years ago.
Oh my God!
And there's
during COVID or right?
Yeah,
right.
Just said I had a couple COVID jokes, and I'm like, you released this 2.5 years later. People are watching it going, duh.
He's so topical.
Why don't you just talk about Watergate, dude?
Yeah. So when you watch the dry bar special, what's the title of it, by the way?
Little Victories.
Little Victories. All right, that's great. But the Harry Carey thing. This is. We got to hear. If you could do just a little more Harry Carey for us. I don't even know how to set it up.
About Harry. We get excited over the dumbest stuff. Like you're watching a game, and out of nowhere he goes, "Hey, check out the kid in the sombrero. That's a good-looking youngster, huh?" And you're like, "Where the hell was that? Where did that come from?" We got a shutout. Brilliant from Milwaukee. The under 7, the Indians 5, the Packers 2. You're like, you just said shut up. And it's not the Packers.
I remember I used to hear stories from a Chicago guy. I used to work with Stephen Leo.
Yeah, Stephen Leo.
They were like my favorite. Those guys were so crazy.
They wrote the Santa Claus.
As a matter of fact, I think I told this on the show. They were at the Funny Bone East, which was the Monroeville one, and there was a hotel room. And I had to drive them on Sunday. You had to drive to Beaver Falls. So I went to pick them up. And in their hotel room, all over the beds, they had pages, script pages. And they had one of those printers set up. And I was like, what? This is 1990, whatever. And I'm like, oh, my God. And it was that old printer. With the,
were they writing a movie?
They were writing the Santa Claus.
Oh, my God. Jimmy Miller handled them.
There you go.
Yeah,
well, now it all comes back to Jimmy Miller, who Chris and I are talking about. But yeah, I remember them writing the Santa Claus, and they were an act that sometimes people would walk out on because they were just that clown burger drive-through. I can think of like 80 things they did that were great.
They were ahead of their time. They
were.
They had when phones first came out. They had this whole bit about what the phone could do. It could wash your car. I mean,
I don't remember that one.
Oh man, and phones had just come out.
Yeah,
but they were so ahead of their time. The things that they were talking about actually came to fruition and are in the phone.
I mean, guys like Mark Roberts. I mean,
they also
all those
wrote
guys.
the basketball one.
They
wrote
Jordan. They wrote the cartoon movie.
Oh, Space Jam.
Space Jam.
The cartoon movie. How old am I? The one with the cartoons and the players. Space Jam. Yeah, they did. So they're doing.
And neither one of them live in L.A. anymore. They both went back to Chi-Town or wherever. But they're
good for them.
There. But yeah, I knew Stephen Leo was.
Yeah.
Before they even wrote anything.
Yeah.
Comedy team.
I watched them.
Funny guys.
Watched them writing it. They were just so weird. It was like most comics loved them. I haven't been looking at the chat. I don't know what's going on in there, Ryan. Anything? Do you have any questions about Chicago or
having a lot
sports?
of fun? Not necessarily questions.
Comments.
Dean Hill pointed out that Harry Carey started with the Cardinals, but he got fired for
being drunk.
Messing around with
Augie Bush's son's wife.
Oh, are you kidding me?
And they would question him about it. He goes, "Hey, if they want to accuse me of having sex with a woman half my age, I'll take that, brother." Instead of admitting it, he did it behind around the bush kind of a way.
Oh, my God.
Such a character.
I didn't know he started with the Cardinals. Good one, Dean Hill. Thank you.
Yeah, 27 years with the Cardinals.
What?
Now, here's a trivia question.
Okay.
Where did he go after he left the Cardinals before he went to the White Sox? He did 1 year with...
Keith, no, I have no idea.
The Oakland Athletics.
The Oakland A's.
Yes.
Wow. So early 70s when the A's were good?
And then he came to the Sox for 10 years.
Right.
And then Reinsdorf and Einhorn gave him a ridiculous offer because they didn't want him around anymore.
Right.
And he knew he'd be pissed and walk.
1970.
And he left them and never wanted to leave the Sox, by the way. Because I met him a few times and we had talked. And he said, I loved being a Sox broadcaster. It's just that they gave me such a bad offer. I went with the Cubs. And then he became 10 times as big with the Cubs.
Because of cable, yeah.
Because of WGN.
Yeah, the power of the... I'm
a Bud man. I'm a Cub fan.
Now, did he not have a steakhouse or something or a bar?
Yeah,
right?
yeah, he had Harry Carey.
Yeah, would he hang out there?
It was a steak joint.
Yeah, a steak bar or whatever. But he would hang out there?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They what? The Barman Ball. That's right. They bought it. Yeah. Unbelievable.
I don't know if it's still there, but it was downtown Chicago near Huron Street or something like
Now,
that.
Now I know you met him. You were on a talk show with her. It was on Roy Firestone. Is that right?
I was on Roy Firestone. Plus, we roasted him here at Bally's.
No.
Back in the 80s. And the whole dais was just celebrities and ball players and Hall of Famers.
Oh, my God.
And it was great. There was like 30 people on the dais, and I was in seventh heaven because, they had all these Hall of Famers and just baseball celebrities and like comics. Red Buttons was on the show.
Red Buttons. Jesus.
Never had a dinner. I don't know if you ever. What? Great roaster.
He was great
Red
on the old
Buttons.
Dean Martin ones. Yeah.
There's a trivia about Red Buttons.
Okay, what?
One of the few guys that ever won an Academy Award.
For, Poseidon Adventure. No.
He won an Academy Award.
He was up for it. Towering Inferno. No, what was it?
Yes. And he's one of the few comics that ever won an Academy Award.
Yeah, right, because they get comics going to get him no respect. Right. No respect.
Robin Williams, I think Whoopi Goldberg. I think there's 8 you can name.
Robin, Whoopi.
Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, Fox won for Ray. That's right. But there's a handful.
There's only like 8 of them.
Steve Martin should have been up for Roxanne. He could have won for that. But never get any respect. So you're wearing your Bears cap. Football season's coming up. We got to talk about football. How do you feel about Caleb Williams, #1 overall pick, being your quarterback now?
Well, first of all, I'm glad they made a change.
Okay. Well, we have Justin Fields now in Pittsburgh. So
I know, but you got him for a song.
We do. Trust me.
I mean,
6th-round pick?
That's where all the Bears hand-me-downs go. They go to Pittsburgh now. Trubisky.
That was a mistake the day it happened. I tried to convince myself.
I thought he was going to fare well with them. You know that he took them to the playoffs, and in that playoff game, brought them down to the 4-yard line. And then double doink, missed the field goal.
Oh, that's right, the double doink kick.
He should have had
at least a playoff
victory under his belt.
That's true.
Before he left. But anyway, I'm hopeful. You know, we haven't had a franchise quarterback in 30 years, which really upsets me because the Packers have had 2 and are probably going on a 3rd.
Jordan Love
going to sign the most lucrative contract ever in the history of the NHL. NFL.
Watch this. Green Bay Packers
suck.
There you go. Every time you say Green Bay Packers, he has to say suck. Green Bay Packers
suck.
There you go.
No, I'm really hoping Caleb Williams just turns out to be a franchise quarterback. I don't see them winning the Super Bowl this year. I mean, if they can come close to making the playoffs, and if I'm at least watching football in December, I'll be happy.
There you go.
And my team's not out of it.
Right.
So I've only gotten up to Thanksgiving the last few years, and they were gone.
Right. How is he doing in camp? Have you been following him in camp?
Yeah, there have been some good clips of him throwing absolute dots.
But you know what? He's also going up a pretty good defense.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be in a lot of games this year because of that defense.
I root for the Bears. I grew up the Bears. I grew up with Walter Payton. I like the Bears.
The best.
I look. They could be an NFC team. I like the Bears and the Lions, which was weird when I was a kid. Same division.
But when they got Sweat last year, midseason, that turned their whole defense around.
He was great. Yeah.
They all of a sudden they went from no turnovers to like 3 a game when he got in there.
Yeah, that was a good sign. Good trade.
I just think they're going to be in a lot of games, even if Caleb Williams is off or what.
Well, Justin Fields had a good day yesterday in Steeler camp. Threw a couple deep balls that looked real nice. What were you going to say, Ryan?
Well, I mean, the Bears finished 7-10 last year,
right,
and still managed to have the #1 overall pick because we traded with Carolina the year before. And so this is the best supporting cast that a #1 overall pick has ever had in the league.
That's true.
And moving from Justin Fields, who
That's
won
a good point.
X amount of games before getting hurt last year or after getting hurt last year, the floor to me is the postseason. If you want to make the conversation of Caleb Williams was this franchise transforming quarterback, the floor is the playoffs this year. With how the team was last year, and he's supposed to be the savior of the franchise, that's the floor.
You're just like me. We're so damn optimistic because we've been in the crapper
that's
for
what it
so
should
long.
be.
But
when we're sold on a guy that should be a franchise saver and is the next Tom Brady, better than Patrick Mahomes in some people's eyes, the team needs to produce.
Yeah, but there's always that learning curve. I don't care.
Yeah.
Coming out of college, every position you're playing is a pro.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're not 2 of 53 members on a college team that might make the pros.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So it's the pros.
There's a learning curve, and he's got to go through it. If they could win, if they could get 9-8, I would be happy.
All right. Very
and
interesting.
Still be in the hunt.
Very interesting you said that because Chris Andrews, our sportsbook director, they have their NFL total regular season wins. Chicago Bears over/under is 9. So you could place a bet while you're here after the show if you want. Over 9, not bad. And to win the NFC North, he also has his odds up, the division odds. Chicago Bears are plus 360. Ryan, what do you think of these two bets? What are you thinking? 9 wins?
I don't know if I'm taking them to win the division, but
okay.
yeah, like I said,
10-win team?
This is the best supporting cast that this team has had in a very long time.
So they could go from 7 to 10 to 10 to 7.
They could.
I think so. And especially with a fourth place schedule.
Right here.
If he adapts to the pro game quickly enough.
The weapons that he can.
And we have a light enough schedule that, you know.
And the way that he says
should.
Bears is so ferocious, it strikes fear into the heart of it. Bears.
You forgot
Duh Bears. Yeah, I don't think anyone has shown him the SNL sketch quite yet. All right, we got 14 seconds till picks at 12:36. Let's roll the graphic now, Sean. Go ahead. It's time for picks at 12:30. We've never done it 5 seconds early. We're doing it today. All right, so John, every day we do a pick of the day. You don't have to give a pick. If you'd like to look at Olympics men's basketball, we have that, or Olympic futures. There's a lot going on. College. Do you follow college football? Do you have a college? Did you go to school somewhere in Illinois?
I like Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
And Northwestern, you know.
Oh, yeah,
Chicago.
And here's baseball odds. So, Ryan, do you have Ryan, what was your pick? Oh, you had the A's and Angels over yesterday.
Yeah.
You broke down why, and it was like 6-5 in the second inning.
Yep.
Very nice.
Yep.
So you're on quite a little run.
Yeah.
You are.
It's because I pick and choose where I want to play and where I want to sit back.
I feel like every day I have to give a pick. Now, I want to say I was peer pressured into a pick yesterday. I said, no, I've had 2 losers in a row. I'm not doing it. Then everyone called me a wimp. I said, all right, Clayton Kershaw on the Dodgers. That actually hit. So, and by the way, all his over-unders were really close. Strikeouts, I think he went over.
Yeah.
Or it was really close. But anyway, glad to see that. Were you a Dodger fan when you lived in L.A. at all? I mean, no, it's still Cubs.
Good.
Because when you go to Cub games at Dodger Stadium, it was like half and half, which is amazing for Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, no, I you know what? I never became a homer at all.
Okay.
At the 35 years I lived there.
Right.
It was too ingrained in me growing up in Chicago to switch sides or become, you know, I'm not that guy.
Okay.
But Vin Scully, he got all this praise of being one of the best announcers ever.
Yeah.
He put me to sleep because he had that sing-songy voice, and it all goes back to 1983 when Liam Durham booted a ball, allowing the San Diego Padres to advance to the World Series. I mean, come on, man. The guy was just praised and lauded everywhere. And I'm like, this guy. And here's another bad thing about him. He had an ego because he didn't want a partner.
No,
he didn't want a color man.
Right.
So it was all him all the time. And all you heard was this. I never understood why he was such a star.
Well, you know, he had those stories that always end, and the guy's name was Leon Durham. Yeah. Exactly, like you're saying, yeah. But when we lived in L.A. from like 76, 75. My first baseball games that I would listen to were Dodger games. So I'd listen to Vin Scully and I had a little transistor radio. So that was the first guy I ever heard. But I would put the games on, and I would never make it through a whole game. And I think maybe this is why, because it was such a soothing cadence.
Yeah. But he was classic, though, how we would, pick something out of history and kind of bring it into the game somehow.
Yes, he would always tie together, and you're like, oh, my God, that's amazing.
Yeah. No, he had his good parts.
Well,
just after a while, I fell asleep.
I had the Dodgers yesterday, and today I do have a pick. And Ryan, Sean, can you go ahead and put that up on the screen? Remember what my pick is? Yep. I just want to take a look at it. I like seeing a visual graphic of it. Yep, here it comes. What was my pick of the day, ladies and gentlemen? Here it is. Oh, yeah, the Kansas City Royals. I'm sorry. I'm going against the Cubs. Now, I'm not doing this intentionally because John's here, but I like Brady Singer. Kyle Hendricks has been pretty brutal for you guys this year. Am I right?
That he has, yeah.
What's that?
He can't get past the 4th inning.
ERA 6.5, 2-8, 2-9, whatever he is. Brady Singer, who I feel is one of the cornerstones right now of the Royals. I like that Royal team a lot. Bobby Witt Jr. Last 10, the Royals are 6-4. Bobby Witt, as we know, since the All-Star break, has been killing it. I don't know what that line. Oh, by the way, what's the line?
Here's something
minus
that'll sting you.
145.
The Cubs had Dylan Cease at one time, and they traded him to the White Sox for Jimenez and Quintana.
I only remember him as a White Sox.
He was a Cub. originally.
Oh,
And they traded him to the Sox for Jimenez and Katana.
Yep.
I have 2 words that'll make your head explode probably. Lou Brock. Also, was it Ernie Broglio that the Cubs and Cards? That's the worst trade in baseball history. Hall of Famer for an Italian guy. Vinny, he was Italian. We got Italians everywhere.
Well, the Sox had Sosa before he went
had
over
Sammy
to the Cubs.
Sosa. They did. They got him from their George Bush traded him, I believe. All right. So, Ryan, did you have a pick? Sorry.
Not an official play for me today.
Lean? Nothing?
I do lean to going back to the same thing yesterday, the over in the A's-Angels game.
Okay.
Paul Blackburn is on the mound for the A's.
Yeah. Coming
off the 60-day IL with a foot injury. The last time out in May, gave up 7 runs very quickly. And then Carson Fulmer on the mound for the Angels, who's 0-2 in his starts this year.
Okay.
I do lean to the over in that.
I have one more pick, actually. Olympic opening ceremonies over 4 hours. I'm going to take over 4 hours. I believe it's tight.
Approaching that. Yeah.
They're on Tanzania right now, and they've been on for 2 hours and 20 minutes. I don't know how many countries come after that. The United States are going to have to be on a massive, probably 2 boats, right? Because they're all coming down the Seine, which is a really cool idea. So there you go. All right. Is it time? I think we should.
You think USA could beat Japan?
In what sport? In basketball?
In basketball.
We should.
Isn't the biggest guy in Japan 5'10"?
Probably. I don't know. We should. This is why we got the lines. So was it Serbia? They're minus 13 against Serbia here at the South Point if you want to come down and place a bet. All right, let's sound the horn. It's time for Post with Punchlines. That's right, Post with Punchlines. We scan the whole thing. Chris, do you want to come in for Post or you want to come in? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to bring in Chris Andrews, the director of the Sportsbook here at the South Point. He does have some Olympic lines out. We got some Olympic futures as well. Gold medal in soccer, basketball. USA is minus 2,500 in women's basketball, only minus 600 in men's basketball. So
men's basketball I think is going to be pretty tough. I watched the second half of that South Sudan game.
Yeah,
they were life and death. I mean,
they
weren't like not stepping on the gas or anything like that.
No.
Their defense was horrible.
Yeah,
and South Sudan.
Anybody from Sudan in the NBA?
No.
I don't think so, no. And they were like a 40-point favorite.
They don't even have training facilities indoors. There was a clip going around of them shooting hoops into a bucket, and they had a rain gutter that the ball would return to them.
Was it the clip from Airplane?
It was kind of, yes. I know exactly what you mean. The wicker basket where they go up, and they hit every shot.
They took to the game, really.
That developed Robert Hayes' drinking problem. Hysterical. So Ryan, John, these are posts. These are funny things we find around. Chris, what else? Is anything else you want to talk about in the sports book right now?
No, but real quick, I want to ask
please.
John. We used to that one year. Harry loved to pronounce names backwards.
Oh yeah.
And I just remember me and my buddy said we watched every day. You know, we're sitting there. I can't do an imitation. Lee Mazzilli spelled backwards is Eel Ilazam. And we just looked at each other and we started we couldn't stop laughing.
Oh, this was a true one. He goes, "Hey, you're not walking fuss backwards. It's stuff a cow." Then he laughed at his own jokes. then he started coughing. And then spit a loogie at Steve Stone.
John Walkenfuss. I remember him. He had he tapped his foot or something. He had that weird. What is Walkenfuss backwards?
Stuff a cow. Hey, who was that other guy that?
Joe Morgan did this.
No. He was a Pittsburgh.
Willie Stargell with the windmill?
No. He was the son of a game show host.
Oh, Pete LeCoq.
Yeah,
he
played for Peter Marshall's son.
Peter Marshall, who's still alive. He's like 90.
Is that right?
You're kidding me.
He's still alive.
That was his son, right?
Pete LeCoq.
Pete LeCoq.
And we talked about this once. Bob Gibson's final game, he gave up a grand slam to Pete LeCoq.
Oh, wow.
And they played in an old timer game like 10 years later, and he hit him. He threw a ball.
That's hysterical.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's almost.
He never forgot.
Gibson hated everybody, right? All right, Ryan, what do we have first up in post? Or Ryan, I'm sorry, Chris, was there anything about the sports book? We got the games of the year. We got a ton of stuff.
We put golf up today, Olympic golf.
Oh, my God. Okay.
We just put that up this morning. We put the basketball. You know, we're trying to keep up with everything.
Anything you can put up stuff. Anything that's not judged.
Everything
right?
that's not judged, right? Yeah. So we can't do gymnastics or some of that other stuff.
Okay. So
we'll see what's out there.
Sorry.
I just had a quick question on the U.S. or the gold medal in basketball. Chris, have you taken any money on any specific country other than the USA?
Good question.
Yeah, South Sudan.
South Sudan. that showed.
And I think, and then France. We took some money there too.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
The reason you don't do the judge thing is because someone could get to a judge and blah, blah, blah. And
well, fortunately, according to regulation, we're not allowed to. Like I said, fortunately.
The reason.
Fortunately, because, you know.
Because you don't,
that could always be.
You can always
and
get
they tell you,
right.
For a long time.
Nothing's out
Keep
of
it
bounds.
safe.
The judges.
For a long time, the Olympics, we weren't allowed to book them because of the purity of the Olympics.
Right.
They're the most corrupt. FIFA is probably close. You know,
the IOC,
the IOC, they're the most corrupt.
Well,
they're probably way more corrupt than FIFA. FIFA's really just one or two
Clark
guys.
not making the team. That's corrupt. They lost $60 million in ad money.
Right.
That would go to the WNBA because of that.
Really?
Not putting her Reese
would have
on
helped.
the team.
Would have helped.
It would have been
next time.
more.
And LA Olympics in 28.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Are you glad that you're missing the traffic in 2028 for the Olympics? Can you imagine what LA is going to be like?
I was just there last weekend, and I kept driving around going, I do not miss this. I must have said it 10 times within a 20-minute period.
And we got in and out here now, so we're fine. Okay. I'm fine with that as long as I have in and out. Ryan, what
do we want to do the names first?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So I have a piece of paper in front of both of you guys. You can flip it over. Chris, you got one right there. So, go ahead, set this up. This is what? This is names.
So, Jay Kuda came up with the funniest names or most interesting names
from the baseball draft
that were drafted in this past Major League Baseball draft.
Now, if you it's that piece of paper there. And Chris, you have one too. Yeah. If you want to pick a few out, Ryan, I like Rocco Reed. I think that's a good name. I like Rocco Reed. I like
Gunnar Goldsmith.
Goldsmith.
Howard Harry
Trimble. It's got a ring to it, right?
Gunnar Goldsmith is very strong. Wyatt Parliament.
You can throw it up.
And there's a bunch of the names. Hi, my name is. Hi.
I like JoJo Jackson. Talk about a baseball name.
JoJo Jackson.
Oh, man.
Gage Jump. What else do you like, Ryan? What do you?
Brock Tibbetts.
Brock Tibbetts is a good one.
Vance Honeycutt is one that Caden liked. And then I liked Brandon Butterworth.
That's
I like Boston Bateman.
These are names that you can.
I like words that, like Gunnar, the things that go together. JoJo Jackson.
Alliteration, right?
With, Boston Bateman.
Boston Bateman is excellent, and Cobb Hightower. These are names that Harry Carey would have had fun with.
Rocco Reed. Started playing second and leading off.
Sir Jameson Jones. I think his parents might have a little drinking problem. That's a good one. So there you go. Those are all baseball names. Jay Kuda, who compiles stuff. I like the title. Hi, my name is. Anything else on that one, Ryan, that stood out to you? Or Chris, can you see anything?
I like Fenwick Trimble. It sounds like he should be on Broadway.
Fenwick Trimble. That also sounds
on the West End.
Or a Bond villain.
How about this Fenwick Brock Tidbits?
That was it. Brock Tidbits is a good one. I went to high school with a kid, Mike Tidbits. Could be related. Anyway, Twine Palmer.
Riley Huge.
What? I'm familiar. Oh, no, that's a different one. Okay.
Tony Santa Maria.
There you go. The Pinta, the Nina, the Santa Maria. I like it. All
His mother calls him Anthony Santa Maria.
Anthony, especially when he's in trouble. All right, what's next, Ryan?
Okay, so before we get into a baseball chunk, we're going to go to football. Okay. Being that training camp has started, the Raiders decided to poke a little fun. Bringing
Patrick Mahomes.
a Kermit doll.
Yes, Patrick Mahomes sounds like Kermit the Frog a little bit, right? So here's the video. So they have this. By the way, what is he? He's 10-2 against the Raiders.
Yep. And the Chiefs have won 8 straight AFC West titles.
Yeah.
And so Patrick Mahomes was asked about this earlier today, and he had a
pump up the volume if you can on this one, please.
Response.
Yeah. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
Is that something that you kind of compartmentalize when you get ready to play them?
Yeah, I mean, it's still early in the year. Kind of stuff like that happens.
As soon as he talks, it sounds like Kermit. Yeah, he's keeping receipts.
Yeah, it's early in the year, so he's gonna He's going to come with a vengeance.
Raiders got a little cocky. They beat him on Christmas Day, right? That was a big. I think the what did the sports?
That when Gruden ran around the field or something like that.
Oh, I don't remember.
Gruden was not there.
No, Gruden.
No. This is a couple years ago.
Oh, a couple years ago
when I think Gruden beat them and.
Oh, he was. Oh yeah. Gruden. By the way, I didn't realize he gets up at 3:17 every day when he was coaching. I saw a report yesterday about coaches are actually trying to get more sleep. It's slow news day on ESPN or whatever. But they said that John Gruden famously got up every day at 3:17. I don't know why.
What's with the 17?
I don't know why. If that had anything to do, is it a biblical verse?
Odd.
I'm not sure.
It's just odd.
And Sean McVay he does like 18-hour days. He's starting to get a little more sleep. This was all they had to talk about yesterday. I don't know.
Chuck Noll wanted his assistants home for dinner.
Is that right?
Yeah. We're done at 6 or 7 every night.
Yeah, right.
Go
there you go.
Dinner.
When the coach from
Worked out
Penn
well.
State, what's his face?
Joe Paterno?
Joe Paterno still wanted to, coach at 85.
God.
How much do you hate your wife? You'd rather be at a ballpark away from her for, at 85 years old. Why don't you just retire and do a crossword puzzle or something? How much do you hate your wife that you'd rather be?
And by the way, those last 5 years, Paterno, no headset, nothing in his hands, just walking up and down the sideline. Coach like, we got it, Joe. Don't worry, Joe. Just pace up and down. There we go. Ryan, what's up?
I couldn't find anything on why.
That's all right. I don't know.
Apparently, it's his lucky
important.
number. So.
All right. So what do we have here?
So the Chiefs, sticking with the Chiefs.
Okay.
At their training camp, Kadarius Toney caught a ball, and then George Karlaftis kind of laid him out.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. So his own teammate. Here we go. Watching the video now.
So no pads. Kadarius kind of dancing around and would get laid out if this was pads. And he ends up throwing the ball back at Karlaftis. And then Travis Kelce comes in and kind of stands up for Toney.
He has to. Here he comes.
Yeah, the leader on the offense. Gives him a shoulder shrug, shoves him a little bit. But yeah, that was the little bit of drama that comes out of Chiefs camp.
Makes Kelce even more endearing. The Swifties see that. They're like, oh, my God.
What a stand-up guy.
Is that how they all talk? I don't know why we both did that voice. I don't know. They shouldn't be hitting your own team. Probably not a good idea.
Well, I mean, you shouldn't be dancing around like that.
That's true.
Like that. There's no way you're going to be able to do that in game.
Kadarius Toney, though?
Yeah. Well,
I actually caught the ball.
Yeah, right. Did you see the Steelers yesterday? Justin Fields threw a couple of deep bombs.
Oh, yeah.
Listen.
I know.
Listen. There's no question about his talent.
I know, right?
It was all in between. But my problem with Justin, he couldn't throw guys open. He waited till they got open.
Okay.
And then in the NFL,
you got to hit that window, right?
And that's where he hurt himself. He could not. The game never slowed down for him as far as receivers and throwing guys open, and But there's no doubt about his legs, his arm strength, his speed. That's all. He's got every skill level in the world.
I remember when Tommy Maddox played for the Steelers. And I guess maybe Haley was a coach and Todd Haley.
Yeah, I think so.
Somebody said, hey, why don't you hit that one guy? Well, he wasn't open. That's as open as they're going to get.
Yeah,
That's as open as they get.
Right.
You got to throw it to him.
That's exactly right.
He came from the XFL. He wasn't used to that.
He was in the Arena League or whatever.
He was the MVP of the XFL, selling insurance.
You wait till they get open in the NFL.
No, that ain't going to work.
It's too late.
Justin Fields, though, I know it's going to be good. It's going to be good for the Steelers.
I'm optimistic. By the way, you talked about Trubisky earlier. So that following year, he was like the hottest guy in the MVP betting. Trubisky. The year after he
preseason
took them, the year after he took them to a doink away from the playoff, a playoff win. He was hot.
Wow.
Yeah. Now he's lucky to have
it's
a backup.
It's so funny how they can fall from grace so quickly.
I know.
Just like that other quarterback from the Jets.
Oh, Zach Wilson?
No. He took him to
Joe
the
Namath.
AFC Championship.
Oh, Mark Sanchez.
Mark Sanchez. I mean,
the butt fumble. Yeah.
And then the butt fumble happens, and here he goes from almost being in the Super Bowl 2 years in a row.
Who did he lose to? The Pittsburgh Steelers both times. That was Rex Ryan. That was both times. I think it was the Steelers.
That was Bart Scott. Can't wait.
Can't wait. Yeah.
It's the butt fumble.
The butt fumble.
And here the guy has more. I just read this in the paper today. He has more wins, playoff wins, than
several.
Yeah, did you read that?
I've seen it before.
About 4 or 5 guys. Kirk Cousins. There was a couple other guys on there.
He's the butt fumble guy, or the punchline of the famous joke. Yes. More Jesus. But it gets back to the butt fumble. It gets back to you sleep with one sheep. That's that. You're known around. Am I known around the town?
Yeah.
You know that joke.
Joke.
All right, Ryan. What do we got next, buddy?
Well, so this one is a Brooksgate stat. He decided to put together a little rivalry list and how each team has done in the last 50 matchups. So my 3 teams of the Cubbies, Bears, and Tar Heels are all...
these are intense rivals.
Are all below 500 in these rivalries. The Steelers are 6 games up on the Ravens in their last 50 matchups.
I'm surprised it's not more.
The Dodgers handled the Giants pretty well.
Lakers Celtics really close is interesting, but honestly, that Green Bay one, this is why Aaron Rodgers says I'm your daddy to the Bear fans, right, or whatever. Is that 38-12?
Not daddy. He said I own
or
you.
I own you, whatever. Oh, Pedro Martinez is the daddy.
Stupid belt. Yeah.
Stupid belt. Ohio State, Michigan, surprisingly close. Cardinals and Cubbies, Dodgers and Giants. Wow, that's a good stat. There's this guy Brooksgate. We had him on the show. His name's Jordan. He does these we don't know how he computes all these crazy stats, but we love looking at them. Yeah. All right.
Okay, so the Red Sox were down in that rivalry, but they are up with one of their guys, Jarren Duran.
Nice
Jarren Duran is on pace for 48 doubles, 19 triples, 21 home runs, and 35 stolen bases. There have only been 2 other players in Major League history with a 40 double season, 15 triple season, 15 homers, and 30 stolen bases. So since 1898.
Kiki Kyler and George Sisler, yeah. You know, George Sisler was a guy that for some reason when I was a kid, in that baseball book, I was obsessed with George Sisler. Those guys, those stats are amazing. And this is the kid who won the MVP in the All-Star game.
Yeah.
And he's the one who wears the T-shirt that we can't say. Yeah, F him, and he's getting in trouble for wearing that sometimes.
Yeah.
Because he had a lot of mental health issues, and he's now the star player for the Red Sox. He's actually the best story about the Red Sox. Is he nicknamed the Wolf?
Duran.
Oh, Duran. He had it titled Hungry Like the Wolf because his name's Jared Duran. How do you know about Duran?
That was actually a Caden title.
Caden, how do you know about Duran? Caden, who has not seen Pulp Fiction. Did you watch Pulp Fiction yesterday? But you did go see Deadpool and Wolverine, and how was it? That's not a ringing endorsement.
Yeah, he's shrugging his
I really
shoulder,
wanted you to be like, it's the best. No? Oh, my God. He's never seen Pulp Fiction.
I want to see the new Twister.
Twister's?
Yeah, that's
you enjoyed that?
Yeah.
All right. It's the sequel to Twister. It's about Twister that comes back for revenge. I'm not sure what it is. Okay. It's like Jaws 2. It's
We're
the same
Twister chasers, man.
Remember
It's
that?
what we do. It's who we are.
Bill Paxton. God. I met Bill Paxton in the airport. I was flying into Atlanta to do a comedy club, and Bill Paxton was going to baggage claim, and I saw Bill Paxton. I love Bill Paxton, Weird Science, Aliens, all that. So I go up to him. Now, I had a USA Today, because as a comic, we always read USA Today on the plane. I don't know.
Easy puzzle.
Right. And it said their movie, their movie Looters, because the riots in LA had just happened. The movie Looters was being not even released to the theaters, getting pushed like 2 or 3 months. And it was retitled Trespass months later. So I'm at baggage claim. I'm like, hey, Bill, I'm a big fan, man. How you doing? And he's there with a couple other actors. Said, sorry to hear about the movie. He goes, what are you talking about, man? I go, the movie got pulled from the theater. He goes, we just flew in here to do promotion all week for the movie in Atlanta. And I go, I don't know what to tell you, but it's in USA Today. He goes, what the hell, man? What do you mean? He goes, we flew all day to get here from LA. And I come in from Pittsburgh. And then right as we're walking away from baggage claim, there's a sign that says Frank Nicotero, because the Atlanta Improv picked you up in a limo. And I go, hey, that's my limo. He goes, who are you? Who are you? Like 20 years old. I'm like, it's a young comic. There's an improv. So I go, it's nice meeting you. And he backs away and goes, all right, I'll see you in Hollywood, buddy. And I was just like, that's the coolest thing.
I'll be doing this bit tonight.
Yeah, he was so, he said, what do you mean we're here to do press? Like, I got pulled. I don't know.
Who else had a small part in that movie?
In Twisters?
Yeah. Come on, trivia question.
Philip Seymour
yes.
Hoffman.
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yes.
Oh, he's
Great actor. Not in Pulp Fiction, but watch Pulp Fiction. All right.
With the Big Lebowski.
Boogie Nights. Okay, what else do you have there? This is a Bryce Harper thing?
Yeah, so Bryce Harper put together a card with the bottom of his bat.
Yeah, they had those little things at the end of the bat, and they're putting them in
so
cards.
this one was finally pulled. He had the bottom of his bat for Harambe.
Harambe. Yeah, why did they pull this?
You can't advertise on the bottom of your bat?
No, the card was, someone finally got that card.
Oh, okay.
So it was one of one. Yeah, someone finally got it out of a pack. But yeah.
He's a local boy.
Bats out for.
Yeah, he is. He's a Vegas guy. I mean, everyone saw him play here. And you were probably too young when he was in high school, but I remember when he was on the cover of Sports Illustrated as a high school baseball player.
Jeez.
Yeah, were you here when he was?
No, I was in Reno, but you know, I mean, all my friends were telling me.
The legend grew of him then. Why the U.S. The Gauchos today?
Because that's what I pulled out of my closet, Frank.
Well, usually it had something to do with maybe they were playing.
Well, I don't have any Chicago stuff.
Right? Yeah. You know what? You know what announcer went there?
No.
Who?
Harry Carey.
Jim Rome.
Oh, Jim Rome went there?
Really? Yeah.
We've shown the Chris Everett clip many times on the show.
I'd like to trade bank accounts with him.
Yeah, Jim Rome. He's got a lot of money. All right, what do we have left, Ryan?
We can skip to Shaq. You want to do the Shaq clip?
I like that clip because it's so silly. All right. Yeah, show Shaq. This is a pickup game. Could you imagine you're at the Y and
Here
someone's
comes
like,
Shaq.
yeah, hey, can I run? And it's Shaquille O'Neal playing against like guys he should. Look at this. So here we go. He just takes this guy. Excuse me. Get out of the way. And still slamming.
Hysterical.
I mean, yeah, where's the
local YMCA?
I guess. Yeah, it was just like a pickup game, and Shaq jumped in. That guy's like my size or probably a little bigger. But I mean, just the way he pushed him out of the way. And then you don't see a lot of guys at the Y slam dunking quite like that. But
Well, it's call your own foul. I'd call it.
yeah, right.
It's a foul.
You're gonna call a foul on Shaq? Yeah, right. Oh my God. But he has general insurance if he's hurt, so that's
there you go.
Well, so now we'll go back to the WNBA.
Okay.
So the newest team that'll be joining the league in a couple of years, the Golden State Valkyries.
That's a great name. Right of the
set
Valkyries.
a record for their season tickets, surpassing 15,000 season ticket deposits for next season. It's a new women's sports record.
What's a Valkyrie?
Why not the ride?
Norse God. Norse gods.
A Norse god. There you go.
Norse gods.
It's a
How do you
Valkyrie.
even
It's
spell it?
the army.
V
It's the female army.
ALKRYS. Well, Ride of the Valkyries, of course, is the famous.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say. So we went to go see this show at the Smith
Apocalypse
Center
Now.
where they were going to play the music of Warner Brothers cartoons.
Oh, wow.
While they showed them live, a big whole orchestra.
Oh.
So the conductor says, okay, who knows Ride of the Valkyries? Intellectuals. Who knows Kill the Wabbit?
Kill the Wabbit. Yeah.
Kill the Wabbit.
I was in Heinz Hall in Pittsburgh where they had a full orchestra playing to Looney Tunes.
Yeah, that's what we had down here.
It's like 30 years ago. It was a long time ago.
This was like 6 months ago.
No,
Pam and I
really?
went. Oh,
yeah. So they
we
had
loved it.
Every cartoon started with that, and your live orchestra, and you're drinking beer
That's
like
fantastic.
Yeah, Bugs Bunny! That was awesome, and they did kill the Wabbit.
Kill the Wabbit.
Hysterical.
That was
it.
What's the new name for the Utah hockey team?
Well, it's the Utah.
Have they come up with it yet?
It's the Utah
No, it hasn't
Hockey
been
Club
announced,
for the first year. But the GM at the draft kind of slipped and said Yeti because everyone wants the Yeti. Because just imagine the
Big
merchandise.
cooler.
Yeah, right. yeah, they just have coolers. They'll
Cooler
do a tie-in with the
giveaway,
coolers for sure. Which, by the way, they're like $500 for a
Oh,
cooler.
Yetis are the best.
I had a
man.
Coleman with the styrofoam that breaks the first day. But anyway, I think it's going to be the Yeti or the Mammoth.
should be, yeah.
Yeah, it should be the Yeti. But for the first year, to milk fans of merchandise, they're just going to be the Utah Hockey Club. No boring.
Why can't they just roll with Yeti?
They should. I think it's to get to milk a year out of. I don't know. Someone whose pay grade's way above mine. But the Valkyries, Golden State's going to love them up there. That's
Going with the Warriors and the Valkyries, the two basketball teams.
That's
up
almost
there.
as bad as the Guardians.
Well,
Utah Hockey Club. What?
I've slipped on this show at least 100 times saying Indians. And, I can't say it. Shame on me.
Why? You know that the name they came up with that was after they were honoring one of the first Indian ball players.
That's why.
Indians.
Yeah.
And why do you get upset over a logo that's with the smiling Indian?
I don't know.
There was never a happy Indian.
I don't.
There was never like a Chief Joka.
And the Braves can still do it, so I don't know.
Hey, you're not
Blackhawks.
you're not trying to embarrass your own team.
I never.
I get
it.
the Redskins. That's a little racist.
Well, Courtney, born and raised in D.C., her dad, 100% Native American, loved it. It was a sense of pride being the Redskins.
I said this on the old network we were on. This is God's honest truth. We got two places in New Mexico on Indian reservations.
Right.
Their two favorite teams that they bet all the time were the Chiefs and the Redskins.
Yeah, right.
They love.
No, that's a sense of pride.
I mean, I'm not sure that's.
I don't get how it could be good for 100 years.
Yeah,
and all of a sudden it's offensive.
Yeah.
So where'd that come from?
I don't know.
And why do we kowtow or bow down to these?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, how about
I never got it.
People were saying you could never show Blazing Saddles today. You never. Why not?
Right. I know.
Why not?
It's one of the
They're
funniest
making fun of the racists, not the
There's
race.
somebody on
the
TikTok.
race.
There's somebody on TikTok. There's a video. It's Blazing Saddles cut for the woke generation, and it shows the opening, and it goes right to the credits.
Yeah.
It's like 10 seconds. He wore a blazer, and then the end credits. So that's
Here's a trivia. You know who was supposed to play the sheriff?
Yes, Richard Pryor, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Richard,
really?
But they couldn't insure him, I think, because that was because of his drugs and alcohol, so they couldn't insure him. But he gets a credit as one of the writers. Yeah.
He was one of the writers.
Yeah, he was one of the
And
writers
He
on
didn't show
that.
up to set one day, and Mel Brooks says, "Where is he?" He goes, "He was in Cleveland." He goes, "What are you doing in Cleveland?" He goes, "I don't know."
A gig,
He went
maybe?
on a binge or a bender and ended up in Cleveland.
Chris, I don't know about you, but I think we've all woken up in Cleveland when we didn't want to. Being from Pittsburgh,
Oh, I did.
I've woken up in Cleveland and go, we went to the Browns game yesterday? It's happened. I play. What was the comedy? It's comedy and hilarities and all those clubs I'm sure you played. John, where can people find you on social media and find out about upcoming stuff and dates and all that?
Well, I got johncaponera.com is my website.
Okay.
And John Caponera videos. If they go to that on Instagram, they'll
There we
see
go.
100 different clips of me.
Okay.
You know, they could also pull me up on, what do you call it? YouTube.
YouTube.
I got
We love
100
YouTube.
different clips on YouTube.
Okay. Checking with Keith.
I
on that.
watched a few.
Yeah, there you go. Oh yeah. When I told Chris you were coming in, he goes, "Oh, I'm sitting in." He goes, "I'm coming in." So he doesn't come in all the time.
I've been a fan. You had that show with Drew Carey.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The Good
100
Life.
years ago.
The
What was
Good
it, about
Life
30
on
years
NBC,
ago?
yeah.
That was
Heck
great.
yeah.
I like that show.
All right. Well,
You're
listen.
the one.
That was me.
Excellent show.
By the way.
John, can't thank you enough. You are welcome here anytime. You have carte blanche here on Punchlines. Ryan, big weekend for you. What's going on? A lot of Olympic viewing, or what are you doing?
I've got stuff with family going on, so I'm
Yep.
actually catching a flight. in a couple hours.
He's jetting off. Well, we probably get the jet, maybe the corporate jet.
I'll talk. Let me call Michael.
Tell
right after
Michael
the
see what he's
show.
got going on. Speaking of the Washington football team, I got an anniversary weekend. Hey, Courtney, happy anniversary. Caden, go see Pulp Fiction. Watch Pulp Fiction over the weekend, or don't come through that door again. Son of a Sean wearing his American hat. We love it. Room for the stairs. And Jerry probably working on some gigs coming up soon. We got band gigs coming up. Check out Jerry Trevino. He does everything here at the South Point. It was Employee of the Year, I believe, last year, right? And, whoa, John just broke a chair. No, he didn't. Anyway,
We couldn't
at
insure
Jerry
John
Trevino.
either, evidently. So.
All right, I'm Frank Nicotero. We'll be back Monday. Ryan and I, we can't wait. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Please click subscribe, share with friends. Punchlines. LINE stands for Live in Nevada every show.